These Posh baked beans are a traditional meat-free meal that's healthy and delicious. Sweetness from caramelized onions and garlic, the sourness of red wine vinegar cuts the rich tomatoey sauce that coats each silky bean, which are nestled amongst umami-loaded red lentils, served with some salty creamy feta, contrasting with crunchy spring onions and crisp minted cucumbers and tomatoes and bursts of bitter Kalamata olives. Served upon a bed of toasted bread or soaked in your loaf, it's your choice, and best of all, it can all be done in under 30 minutes, so let's get started. Dice one red onion, and whilst you're at your chopping board, finely chop a clove of garlic too. Then heat a pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, then add just your onions to brown for a few minutes. But I don't just want one element of sweetness, I want to develop more depth of flavour, so when you take a bite, the flavour hits you from different directions, so that's where the garlic comes in. Once your onions are a caramelly colour, like this, add your diced garlic. I add my garlic after the onions have had time to caramelise, because the onions take longer, and if the garlic was in the pan that long, it would end up burning. Can you see my garlic is also turning a nice caramelly colour? That means we're on the right track, because the garlic now is going to add a heated sweetness that will contrast well with the onions. So when your tongue tastes it, it will get hit with a double whammy of sweetness. And add in your passata and give it a good stir. The passata is great because it's a great carrier of flavour, but it's also a bit rich, especially along with the rich meatiness of the beans that we're going to add shortly. That's why I add a capful of red wine vinegar to cut the richness of the sauce and also balance out the sweetness from the onions and the garlic. Then season with a little salt and pepper, give it a stir and simmer for a minute or two on a low heat so all the flavours have time to mingle. Then add your cannelli beans and stir so each one is enveloped in a tomato sauce. Then add your red lentils and stir again. The lentils are going to add an earthiness which is going to satisfy our umami taste bud. Then add some water to loosen up the sauce so the beans and lentils don't stick to the bottom of the pan. But don't worry about it being watery. As it's simmering away, the sauce will thicken and be lovely and velvety. Leave to simmer for about 15 minutes until the lentils are al dente, not raw or hard, but when you bite into them, they break in half rather than melt into a mush. So while the beans are simmering, let's get on to our accompaniments. First, our cucumber and tomato mint salad. Peel and dice your cucumber and chop up your tomatoes. They don't have to be even shapes, we're going for the rustic, homely vibe. The cucumber and tomatoes are going to add some much needed freshness and coolness to the meal. Season with a sprinkling of dried mint and salt and stir until everything is coated. Get your feta and drizzle with some extra virgin olive oil and some dried oregano. The bitterness from the oregano will balance out the saltiness of the feta. Go and check your beans and give them a good stir, making sure that nothing is stuck on the bottom of the pan. If your beans or lentils are sticking, add a splash of water to your pan and stir to make them unstuck. Now you can stay here and watch everything breathing, like I did, or get back to prepping and chop some parsley. Try to cut your parsley as fine as possible. If you're not happy with how fine it is, I've got a great tip for you. Whilst holding your knife in one hand and your other hand placed on top of your knife, rock your knife back and forth and side to side until it's as fine as you like. Then sprinkle your parsley over your beans and serve with some crunchy spring onions, because cheese and onion, or in this case feta and onion, go incredibly well together. And embellish your beans with some crumbled feta and dig in. You don't have to limit yourself to dipping just your bread in, you can dip your onions in too, and your tomatoes and your cucumber and even your olives if that's how you roll. Everything's balanced with one another, so each mouthful is going to be delicious with flavour and texture coming at you from every angle. Okay, and before I forget, I said this is Posh beans on toast, so I better show you. Slice your bread and toast it, then put your beans on top and voila, you're done. Posh beans on toast that's healthy, delicious, every taste bud is satisfied, and best of all, it can all be done in under 30 minutes. What more could you want? Other than to have a taste right now. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my delicious treats. And if you'd like the written recipe, check out my blog ggmixblog.com, where you can also read about how I came up with this recipe. So until next time, bye!